What's the time? Where's our... Mm, 10:22. 10:22. Mike at 11. That is in a minute. Half an hour. I'm going to turn that off. You can't do that. All right. So at 11 is calling. I'll just put the watch. 20 minutes, 44. Yeah. 20 minutes. All right. 20 minutes. Nobody listens. Nobody listens. Nobody listens. All right. Got so many things to do. I can't do any. All right. Yeah, this is what I like. As nearly as possible in the spirit of Matthew Salinger, age 1, urging a luncheon companion to accept a cool lima bean, I urge my editor, mentor, and heaven help me, or heaven help him, closest friend, William Shawn, Genius Domus of the New Yorker, lover of the long shot, protector of the unprolific, defender of the hopelessly flamboyant, most unreasonably modest of born great artist editors, to accept this pretty skimpy looking book. So I'm going to read it again. As nearly as possible in the spirit of Matthew Salinger, age 1, urging a luncheon companion to accept a cool lima bean, I urge my editor, mentor, and heaven help him, closest friend, William Shawn, Genius Domus of the New Yorker, lover of the long shot, protector of the unprolific, defender of the hopelessly flamboyant, most unreasonably modest of born great artist editors, to accept this pretty skimpy looking book. As nearly as possible in the spirit of Matthew Salinger, age 1, urging a luncheon companion to accept a cool lima bean, I urge my editor, mentor, and heaven help him, closest friend, William Shawn, genius domus of the New Yorker, lover of the long shot, protector of the unprolific, defender of the hopelessly flamboyant, most unreasonably modest of born great artist editors, to accept this pretty skimpy looking book. It's beautiful. So I'm going to read one page, and then I'm going to move on to the stuff I need to do for school. Having had just a morning of awakening that I don't know how long it's going to last. I mean, this is questioning it in a way. Okay, one page. Though brilliantly sunny, Saturday morning was overcoat weather again. Not just topcoat weather, as it had been all week, and as everyone had hoped it would stay for the big weekend, the weekend of the Yale game. Of the 20-some young men who were waiting at the station for their dates to arrive on the 10:52, no more than 6 or 7 were out on the cold, open platform. The rest were standing around in hatless, smoky little groups of 2s and 3s and 4s inside the heated waiting room, talking in voices that, almost without exception, sounded collegiately dogmatic, as though each young man, in his strident conversational turn, was clearing up, once and for all, some highly controversial issue, one that the outside, non-matriculating world had been bungling provocatively or not for centuries. Lane Coutel, in a Burberry raincoat that apparently had a wool liner buttoned into it, was one of the 6 or 7 boys out on the open platform. Or rather, he was and he wasn't one of them. For 10 minutes or more, he had deliberately been standing just out of conversation range of the other boys, his back against the Free Christian Science literature rack, his ungloved hands in his coat pockets. He was wearing a maroon cashmere muffler, which had hiked up on his neck, giving him next to no protection against the cold. Abruptly and rather absently, he took his right hand out of his coat pocket and started to adjust the muffler. But before it was adjusted, he changed his mind and used the same hand to reach inside his coat and take out a letter from the inside pocket of his jacket. He began to read it immediately, with his mouth not quite closed. The letter was typewritten, on pale blue notepaper, had a handled, unfresh look, as if it had been taken out of its envelope and read several times before. Tuesday, I think. Dearest Lane, I have no idea if you will be able to decipher this, as the noise in the dorm is absolutely incredibly tonight. So, talk about synchronicities. I said one page, I read the page, and it's out of battery. Synchronicity. Okay, Franny and Zoe, reading for today. Discovered through what? Synchronicity. Wherever it may lead. Okay, the only thing I've discovered this morning as I was meditating, or singing really, was that what I lack is not faith, but will. I've discovered it. I haven't been told. I've discovered it. So Mike is calling at 11. God, I didn't realize it was so close because I would have meditated earlier. Okay, what should I do? I have various possibilities. According to my book here, I have to do this, what you call it? The the script for the Wittgenstein video, which I haven't. I was thinking of extemporizing it, but then I thought if I'm going to do that, I might as well do it with them at the Zoom session. I could just tape the video with a couple of notes that I've taken here from the Wittgenstein's observations on Fraser's golden bough, which takes us into the question of, first of all, what language does. What does it do? Not just transmit facts. No, it does many more things. Austin has a book that's called How to Do Things with Words, and it was a hit because it was doing something or saying something nobody had said before, namely that words could do things. Words, we thought, were only carrying information. Words can do things. And so, Wittgenstein begins by distinguishing propositions or sentences that were, in fact, made to assert propositions, and others, many others, that were used for fabulously many purposes. So, for instance, he starts with Augustine writing in the first lines of the Confessions his praise to God. And he asks, was he wrong in praising God, in what he said? Is what he's saying false? Well, if it were false, then Buddhas would be false. No, that's not the way it goes. You see, and I need to work on that. So that's one of the other options I have. The other option is, of course, to do the same thing, a script for my, and I think I might do that. I'm going to talk about Greek gods and technology for my contemporary class. I think I can do that. I think I will do that. Then I want to finish writing this article that I stopped writing, but maybe that will come out with in this conversation with Mike. And I want to finish reading the Wuhan Soup because we're doing something with Norma this Wednesday, kind of like a live Instagram or something like that, talking about what's happening today. I feel like I'm doing nothing. And then I think the only thing you can do is pray, which means try to keep aware and act aware all the time. Very difficult. Especially because I feel that I'm having help. Because I took a little stoke just to get me going. And suddenly I'm like, meditated and it just went out of hand. And suddenly it's become a lesson. Today's a lesson. And so I should be preparing for the few things that I can do that might be helpful. Although then I thought that maybe praying is much better because nobody listens. Praying might be more effective. And then I got, I did that already. Okay, that's all. That's, and then I'm always forgetting about the book. Richard would kill me. But I'm meeting with Richard tonight to talk about human virtuality, the book we're writing together, and then read Franny and Zoe, The Plague, which I haven't finished, Life and Days of Michael Kay. What else am I doing all at the same time? That's how I'm doing things without attention. That's the other thing I've realized. I have to work on paying attention. Like, for instance, typing. I'm a very bad typer. I get things, and I've become really clumsy lately. And that's just, I've realized, a matter of concentration. And it's like I'm everywhere all the time. So I don't concentrate. So I do things kind of stumbling over, like Professor Lux used to do when he taught. Michael Lux at Notre Dame. All right. So I think this is enough of this nonsense. I'm not going to have this on all day. I got to start working. So that means probably that I was feeling this was kind of a break. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Who knows?